Attractive people of Reddit, what was your horrible experience for being attractive? Story 1. Not being taken seriously / listened to. I literally had someone tell me, I can't concentrate on what you're saying because I'm distracted by the shape of our lips. Story 2. Unwanted advances. Unwanted gifts. If you refuse, you're a snob. If you accept, date him, and say that it's not working out, you're a bitch for leading him on. Story 3. Unwanted advances. Unwanted gifts. If you refuse, you're a snob. If you accept, date him, and say that it's not working out, you're a bitch for leading him on. Story 4. When people who are your friends take every chance they can to criticize your appearance or anything else, whatever little crumb of shade they can use to humble you. Story 5. To many men, it's just face and body. They expect something physical and nobody wants to actually take the time to get to know me. As fucking cliched as it sounds, it really does hurt because I value quality time above everything else. So to like someone and want to get to know them when all they want to do is hook up really sucks. Story 6. For most of my life I was very unattractive and I have never adapted proper mechanisms of being assertive. Now I'm kind of good looking and I find it very hard to say no. Some women are really persistent. Even when I don't react with excitement, they think that I'm playing hard to get or I'm just undecided or avoidant. I am avoidant, but that's not why I don't want to engage in flirting with many of them. Story 7. I moved into an apartment that doesn't have a gate around it in May. After not even a month of living here, some guy that lives across the street sat in his car after I got home and watched me walk to my apartment and then drove over here and came up to the door. Pretended to be looking for his sister's apartment and then tried to get my number by pretending to be in real estate and needing an assistant. When that didn't work, he tried naming other jobs he could help me get. I found his info after he gave me his number and he lied about his name, his age, about looking for his sister's apartment, and about being in real estate. A few weeks ago I noticed an old guy walking towards me while I was letting my dog sniff around in a patch of grass, and when he realized I saw him, he looked like he was going to say something and then turned around and walked away really fast. The next day I saw him again walking towards me, so I left. When I got close to my apartment I felt like someone was watching me, so I turned around and saw him there and he turned and ran the opposite way. When I got up to my apartment and went inside, I turned around and saw him running past and he looked right at me. Then a few days ago a different old man walking his dog literally followed me everywhere I went with my dog. I even crossed the street to get away from him and he followed me. So after I turned a corner I picked up my dog so that his dog wouldn't be able to smell her anymore, and I ducked down and ran until I got to an area where there were 4 buildings around a patch of grass so he couldn't see me and I could let me dog walk around freely. That one id if he was just letting his dog go wherever it wanted to, and it wanted to go where my dog was, or he was legit trying to follow me. But either way, an old man following a young woman everywhere she goes is extremely creepy. I've only lived here for 3.5 months. These men are starting to make me hate living here, and it sucks cause it's such a nice complex and I love my apartment and the area. Story 8. I'm autistic as well, which tends to confuse people. They're sometimes drawn to me because they find me attractive just to realize they don't actually like me personally because I don't act like they expect me to. Also have a habit of people thinking I'm just very shy and cute instead of autistic with extreme social anxiety. Then they get to know me better and realize it's way more than some normal shyness. Then it's not so cute anymore. Well, to some people. Not being able to have true friends of the opposite sex. Every close male friend I've had, even the ones where the relationship seemed so platonic at first, either ended up saying me or trying to force me into a romantic relationship with them. One ex-close friend actually stalked and harassed me for 4 years. Story 9. The constant unwanted attention. I'm an introvert with resting bitch face. Good lord, that sets them off. You should smile more. You're so pretty, why don't you smile? You have such beautiful blue eyes. My eyes are green, why don't you smile? not sure what the connection is there. It also seems that the real creeps are immune to the power of the RBF. It's like it's a challenge or something. Getting catcalls and followed by weirdos from a young age was also delightful. Story 10. You can't have a platonic friendship with the opposite sex. You are already labeled as someone with attitude. You can't make friends easily as people are intimidated by you. By default, people start competing with you or try to show how better they are than you. I'm like, what, just struggling to exist here. I didn't choose this face. Story 11. I read once, the dark side of pretty privilege is that you are lusted over and not loved. People just want to say they have experienced you, and that has always stuck with me. I honestly wish I had read it earlier in my life because it's so true. Story 12. Literally being told by a stranger that if it was only about genes he'd have a child with me. I complained about him and he actually got banned from the gym cause it wasn't the first time he was a weirdo. Edit due to a DM I got, this is not aimed at men in general. I am very aware that this is a creep and not all men are like that. I just answered the fucking question, chill out. Hey everyone. If you're loving the content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos. Also, make sure to click the bell icon so you'll never miss an update. Your support means the world to me, thanks so much, and now, let's dive back into the stories. Story 13. Friend's husband/boyfriend send me messages late at night. A builder messaged me repeatedly after he finished a job, looking to make friends with me apparently. A random guy had to be intercepted by the police for taking photos of me using a long-range camera. My husband's old friends would hit on me. Random guy recently outside KFC told me I was beautiful and my 10-year-old pulled the finger at him. I'm just about 40 and I'm guessing it will start decreasing from now on. It's actually given me terrible anxiety, all the unwanted attention. Catching public transport as a teenager/early 20s was the worst. Thank God for Uber nowadays. It's assumed I'm stupid, how could I be smart? Insecure girls don't like me. Story 14. Joined med school, small town boy with huge dreams, fell in love with a really beautiful girl in my year. Turned out she just got in relationship with me to prove to other girls she is the best amongst them all, as most of them had a crush on me. Hung me to dry. After a year, I had confided in her my childhood traumas, my secrets, etc. Had to be on prescription drugs to just sleep for 6 months or so. Story 15. I grew up fat and pretty, then lost all the weight and noticed how differently everyone treated me, and suddenly I was beautiful. Even my family suddenly referred to me as beautiful. It really made me see how ugly people are. I get a lot of things I didn't when I was the fat girl: special treatment, invites to select places, free things, and also people feel inclined to touch me without my permission. I have had hormone imbalance issues in the last year and gained weight recently, but maintained my hourglass figure and mostly flat stomach. I have noticed slight changes in treatment from people, but only in the way that when I tell people not to fuck with me, they don't. When I did it before I gained weight, men, especially, took it as a fun challenge and wouldn't stop pushing me till I became seriously angry. I.e. chasing me down the street for my number or reading my face/telling me how I'm feeling to challenge me. The biggest complaint I have is people trying to read me. I feel men and women alike are constantly looking at my face and trying to tell me what I'm thinking or feeling. Like, what the fuck, this is just my face. Constantly, nearly every day at jobs, dates, or in social interactions, people tell me what I'm thinking because they are just looking at my face. It's infuriating. I've been told I'm mad, sad, happy, angry, all manner of things because people are looking at my face and trying to read it without any insight into my thoughts. It's fucking bizarre, and I've actually been fired before by managers for I feel not wearing the face they expect. Like, I can be in a great mood but they are reading my face and thinking I'm not, and I'm having to explain that constantly. It's weird. I have observed with my recent weight gain I am approached by more attractive and confident men, whereas when I was thinner or more athletic I didn't get approached as often by guys I liked, too. Regardless, the catcalling, getting followed home in cars, or men jacking off in public always happens. And the worst part is when you tell people, friends, they think you're trying to brag or show off, somehow, as though Brad Pitt just jerked to you and you weren't just terrified by some fucked up creep and the fact that it's happened more than once. It's lonely because you can't talk about it without sounding like a bad person. Story 15. I was having a shit time working as a nurse while studying and during my grad year. I felt like I was being targeted by the managers and educator. I could never understand what I was doing wrong or why they didn't seem to like me. The number of times other, older, female nurses said to me, "They're threatened by you because you're young and pretty," made me so sad. I wanted to be a good nurse, I wanted to learn, I did my best, I tried to be nice and professional, and they just hated me. I'll never know if any of it was true, but it was said to me by multiple people. Story 16. Every single friend catches feelings. I've lost many friends because of this. It sucks. Took 4 years for my old best friend to finally tell me she was in love with me, made a move on me, then insisted we do stuff whilst she was driving down the road, threatening to not look at the road until we do. Sometimes you just wish to find a real friend that doesn't want anything more from you. Story 17. I'm 35 and married. I've gained a little bit of weight since my 30s began, 20 to 30 pounds, I have a sprinkle of gray hairs, and I often dress in comfy clothing these days, so the male gaze often glosses over me, but I was quite attractive between my late teens into my late 20s. There were so many benefits to being attractive, but I can think of 3 main drawbacks. 1. Women feeling threatened by me / not wanting me around their boyfriends. 2. Male friends developing friendship-ending crushes on me. 3. When the hotness fades, if it does, as it has for me, it's a very rude awakening. I became used to special treatment, flattery from strangers, lots of heads turning, etc. It's been an adjustment because where I once felt like I had big-time, main character energy, I now feel invisible. I didn't realize how much of my confidence and self-worth was wrapped up in my attractiveness. Story 18. Wouldn't say I'm extremely attractive by any means, but I'm pretty average, I'd say. However, I do look kind of young for my age. The most common thing I get asked is, "Are you still in high school?"
Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe.